Welcome back, everybody. This lesson we're going to talk about how to solve quadratics by completing the square. These 7 steps take us through how to do it, and I'll do a quick example off to the side here. One, we'll go get all the variables to one side. We'll eliminate any coefficients next to x squared. And step 3 is actually completing the square part when we take half of the b number and then square it. Keep the equation balanced. Step 4, factor the perfect square trinomial on the left. Solve by taking the square root of both sides, and then we're going to isolate the variable. Quick example here. Let's start off with 2x squared plus 8x equals 24. Alright, get all variables to one side. That's done for us. Eliminate any coefficients. Here we have a coefficient of 2, and we'll eliminate it by dividing everything by it. And that's normally the process for getting x squared by itself. Now we're left with x squared plus 4x equals 12. And now here's where we take half of b and then square it. Now the b number is 4, and we're getting that from ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the standard form of a quadratic equation. The b number, so to speak, is always the number, the coefficient next to the x. So our b here is 4. Half of 4 is 2. And then 2 squared is 4. So coincidentally, the number we get after halving and squaring it is the same as the b number. We add that here, and this makes a perfect square trinomial. We have one right here, but we have to keep the equation balanced, like we say in step 4 here. So if I add 4 to one side of an equation, I have to add 4 to the other side of an equation. We're going to factor the perfect square trinomial on the left. X plus 4x plus x squared plus 4x plus 4 factors into x plus 2, quantity squared. And then 12 plus 4 is 16. Alright, we're going to solve by taking the square root of both sides. Square root of the left, square root of the right. X plus 2 is by itself, but please keep in mind when you take the square root, you always have the positive or negative possibility. Square root of 16 is either plus or minus 4. Alright, then we'll isolate the variable by taking away 2 from both sides. And this is how you deal with getting x by itself. Negative 2, then plus or minus 4. X equals negative 2 plus 4, which is a 2. And x equals negative 2 minus 4, which is a negative 6. 2 answers here for x, 2 or negative 6. And that's how you complete the square. Now let's do a few examples just leading up to that. What number should be added to x squared plus 2x to change it to a perfect square? Well, notice the b number. That b number is 2. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Plus 1 is what we should do. So here's the perfect square trinomial. X squared plus 2x and then plus 1. So this would be sort of like the left side of the equation. It's not asking for it, but just so we know, just to review, x squared plus 2x plus 1 factors into x plus 1 quantity squared. We'll do that again here. What number should be added to x squared plus 10x to change it to a perfect square? Half of 10 is 5. 5 squared is 25. And there's a perfect square trinomial. Not that it's asking for it, but if we were to factor it, x plus 5, quantity squared. Alright, which statement describes the first step to solve an equation by completing the square? We've got to deal with that too. We need to get the x squared by itself. We're going to divide everything by 2. Dividing by 2 is just the same thing as multiplying by a half. Everything multiplied by half. It's like you're taking half of everything. And then we have another 2 examples here of actually doing the steps. X squared minus 12x equals 13. Variables by itself, x squared is by itself. Let's take half of negative 12, which is negative 6, square it. Negative 6 squared is a positive 36. That equals 13 plus 36. We're keeping the equation balanced. We'll factor the perfect square trinomial on the left, x minus 6 quantity squared. Oh, and that square should not be there. Just x minus 6 quantity squared equals 49. 13 plus 36, 49. We'll take the square root of both sides. X minus 6 is by itself. Square root of 49 is plus or minus 7. Let's add 6 to both sides. And then we get x equals 6 plus or minus 7. Two possibilities there, 6 plus 7, 6 minus 7. 6 plus 7, 13. 6 minus 7, negative 1. Two answers here for x, 13 and negative 1. Let's do another one here. This time we need to first get x squared by itself. The x squared plus 10x variables to one side. Divide everything by a 5. And then that gives us x squared plus 2x equals 8. We take half of the b number. The b number is 2. Half of that is 1. 1 squared is 1. Alright, x squared plus 2x plus 1 factors into x plus 1 quantity squared. 8 plus 1 is 9. We will take the square root of both sides. Square root of x plus 1 squared is just x plus 1. Square root of 9 is 3, plus or minus 3. Take away 1 from both sides. X is equal to negative, let's write this out, 3 minus 1, or negative 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2, negative 3 minus 1, negative 4. Two possible answers. X is positive 2 or negative 4. Thank you for watching. Hope this helps with completing the square.